Guys, what's up? This is another podcast with in the Lei Tai project, and today we have this is the episode 21. Actually, thank you to everyone who's being in this podcast again. Remember, I'm doing this because I love this sport, and I've been doing this for 32 years of my life. Right now, I'm 38 years, and today I have a really young guy from the USA team actually is here. This handsome guy from Lubbock, Texas. His name is Jaden Saucedo, and he's gonna be representing USA in the 60 kilogram division, the division that I was fighting before. And man, thank you very much for giving us this opportunity to know more about Jaden Salcedo, who's gonna be in the next World Games in Dallas, Texas.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I'm Jaden. So I got started with Sanda 2.5, it'll be 3 years in January. And I played baseball from the moment I was 8 to 19. Then I got burnt out of that and was just kind of working out, wasn't doing a whole lot. And then my mom sent me a Netflix show to watch, and it's called Kingdom. It was about MMA and uh stuff like that. It was like a drama show. And I got done with that and I was like, wow, I want to do that. Like that's cool. I really want to do something like that. And so I remember pacing around my apartment, and I was going from the couch to the kitchen. I was like, you know what? F it. I'm gonna look up MMA gyms in Lubbock, and I'm just gonna try to go to one. United Martial Arts was the first one, and Corey actually picked up and said, "Oh, just come try a jiu-jitsu class." And I tried a jiu-jitsu class. The next day I did striking, and fell in love with it. Met Coach Lee, met Bruce, and just from that day on, I fell in love with the sport. So that's how I got started. Off of a Netflix show. So
Hey man, don't be nervous. This is gonna be your podcast. You can,
yeah,
this is like this is a friendship. When you were talking with a friend. So,
right.
hey man, so can you tell us like how old you and where you born, where you live?
hmm I'm 23 years old. I was born in Lubbock, and I went to school in Lubbock for until I was in seventh grade, and then I moved to a little town right outside Shallowater. So
Oh yeah.
mhm.
Man, and good man. So you've been training for 3 years, Sanda. I've been following you because like from nationals and this, and I always thought like, yeah, you have something, and then this year we have the chance to train together in the camp, and
Yeah,
unfortunately I got some injuries in my rib because of Bruce, but
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
man. But I'm happy to see people like you know, like the youngest fighters, and what do you feel, man? Like what your family is thinking about? Like, okay, now from baseball to
Yeah.
fighting sport. Like, how's this, man?
Right. Man, for the first 2 years, my mom and my grandparents, they're kind of like, I don't know if I, like this. It's from catching a baseball to somebody trying to kick me in the face. It was a totally different sport. But I know once they started getting to know Coach Lee and how good he was, and Corey, everybody just it's like a family. Like I've totally changed as a person from 3 years ago. Like there's a Jaden now, and then there's a Jaden 3 years ago, and there's two totally different people. Um, and then they started getting to know them and stuff, and they're like, they support me now. My mom is very supportive, and she pushes me to be better, pushes me to push through all the adversity and stuff. Um, yeah, and I'm grateful they are, because I know some people who their parents are like, I'm not letting you do this. I'm not gonna, if they're in college, I'm not gonna pay for you to do this sport. It's too dangerous, and I'm glad they're not like that.
Yeah, man. And what do you? I don't know. What do you? Your I don't know, your circle of friends, or how? Because this is something that um we always like notice. Your circle always change, and
Mhm.
like from baseball to martial arts, like what are the changes that you start living, or yeah, or what are your expectations from like to be a martial artist? Like, okay, I'm gonna start this, but then you start like competing, and how do
Yeah.
you like change?
Man, how do I put this? Like baseball mindset and martial arts mindset are totally different, and uh some of my best friends are, people I hang out with now, or just from the gym and stuff, and it makes you really uh learn how to push through adversity. Baseball, and I can't speak for other sports. I didn't play any other sports, but you know, something that was a difference between Sanda and baseball was, pushing through the adversity. If you're hurt in baseball, you take a day off or whatever. In this sport, if you're getting ready for a fight, you can't take a day off. You push through it. You figure out what you can do to keep pushing through it anyway. And that's something I really fell in love with. I think that's part of being a true martial artist is, you know, always being level headed, never letting something get to you too much. If you're hurt, you're still pushing through. I think that's what I fell in love with. That's the difference, you know.
Yeah, discipline. Actually, I played baseball when I was a kid, and when I was doing baseball and wushu.
Hmm.
And I always say like the one of the best things from baseball, and I don't know if your case, but in my case,
Hmm.
the action reaction, of like from
Right,
like throwing a ball and then like catching a ball, and like how's your brain is working.
right.
And yeah, I don't know what do you think about that, because like, man, you say like you start doing baseball when you were eight
Yeah,
years.
I was 8. Hmm.
So part of your life, so how's this like, because
Yeah,
yeah, like parents, when they come to me and like, hey, I want my kid train with you. How old is your kid? Like 3 or 4? Like, no, man. And I always recommend to go and try baseball, because they're going to develop more action reaction. What do you think about this?
right. No, yeah, it's Coach Lee actually always makes a reference, and I think honestly, it really helped because I was a catcher, so you're constantly boom, 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 and he always makes the reference when you parry punches, you're not gonna catch a baseball like this. You're gonna boom, counter, boom, counter. It's very subtle movements. The same thing like catching a baseball.
Yeah.
So I definitely see what you're saying. It definitely helped me a lot.
And it's good, man, because sometimes many people, like when you are multi I don't know, a sport
Mhm.
addict, whatever, and
Right.
and you train different sports at the same time,
Mhm.
you develop more skills, but this time I think baseball, I think is one of the best sports who's gonna develop in martial arts,
Yeah.
and people maybe they don't realize. You just said it, because that you're a catcher, and I think your eyes is like the speed of the movements, you can see it, I think, slower than
Right.
everyone else. I don't know, man. I've never
Mhm.
been a catcher. I was in the field, but
Yeah.
and what it like, how can you express that feeling, like when I see a punch or kick, how is your reaction?
Yeah. So yeah, just like if I'm behind the plate catching for 7 innings or 8 innings, however long, uh, and I start, getting in my head a little bit, because it's the same thing. It's a very skillful game. Uh, and I start reaching out of punches, and I'm not calm. I'm not going to be able to make the umpire like see, hey, that's a strike, that's a strike, that's a strike. It's the same thing. Like I've noticed when I spar, if I start getting a little bit, oh, oh, I did take a deep breath, and then I see openings better. Oh, he's gonna kick. I'll catch, kitchen cat, kick and catch, whatever. Oh, he's dropping his right hand. I'm gonna throw, but only because I'm calm.
Yeah,
You can't do anything if you're not calm, and it's the
yeah,
same thing. It goes along with each other.
yeah, exactly, man. And how do you feel, man? Like right now you're gonna be well, now you're part of a USA team,
Hmm.
and I don't know, man. Like I remember when I was part of it, and as you said, it's a family,
Right.
and it's really good. It's a different, because I was in the Mexico team before, and then USA team is a whole different world. The
Yeah.
culture, people, and language, whatever.
Right.
And I know, man, like you have a really good team, but how do you feel, man? Like how can you express this feeling about, or how can we, as as listeners from this podcast, what is that feeling, man?
Right. Man. And I was just thinking today because we've had Vincent here since the beginning of October training with us. and then Livingston came this week, and so we had the whole team together. Man, I've never been a part of something like this. Like I said, I went to state for baseball. I've been on good teams in baseball before, but this is this is something different. We're all getting ready to go to war. Like it's we're training for because we're all going to be in the ring alone. But we're helping each other, we're building each other up to be the best versions of ourselves. And man, uh, this is awesome. Like, win or lose, man, I'm ready to go show some skills and make my teammates proud, my family proud. The this has been an awesome experience.
Yeah, and that is the most important, man. Like, as you know, I was in your division before, and I can tell you this, like, win or lose, when you are there in the late time in the international competition, everything is different. The experience, the mental game is very important. Actually, we're gonna talk about that. And yeah, man, like, all the USA team, Livingston, Vincent is a really good guy, really good fighter.
Yeah.
Uh, Audrey, respect to her, and this the panda,
Yeah.
he's really, really
Chinese.
good, man. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I really love that guy, Bruce. And what is your mental game? And like right now, like, don't, it's not about secrets, but like,
Right.
what is your mental game before and then after? Like, before the team and after the team, because many people, they don't realize. And I can tell you this. I was talking about this with my students yesterday
Hmm.
about how I lose in Indonesia when I fought with India.
Hmm.
I was really, really, like, ready, physical, but
Hmm.
my mental game, like my mental training or whatever, it was like done. I
Right.
wasn't ready. Like, oh man, okay, I'm here. I'm in international game. It's not the same thing. That's a taulu, whatever. And I wasn't ready, man. And
Yeah.
I lose really stupid. But at the end, it's experience. How
Hmm.
can you? What do you think about this?
Um, Man, this is obviously different than any fight I've ever gotten ready for. I've fought nationals for the last 2 years, and then I did a cage fight and stuff. But when you're gonna go against guys that get paid money to do this, and you're just doing it out of the love of the game, it's too like I've treated this a lot different. And Coach Lee actually talked about it today. It's you kind of almost have to have the mindset of I win, I live. If I lose, I die. You be prepared for the worst possible case scenario, and and just let it all hang out, man. I feel like I'm just preparing to walk in there. No matter who I draw, I'm gonna let it all hang out. I'm gonna try to make win or lose. I want to make people. I want to make the USA proud by just being tough. Always if I get taken down, I'm gonna get back up. I'm gonna get back in your face. That's the kind of mindset I'm really training my mind to be. Getting ready for this fight, because I feel like if anything less than that, you might get eaten in there. So yeah, basically just no matter what happens, get back up and keep
Yeah,
going.
yeah. And we always talk about sacrifice.
Hmm.
What are the sacrifices you did to be here, man? Like, from since you start training Sanda and then competing, and like,
Yeah.
when you
Uh,
start from, yeah.
yeah, I got you. I think on your podcast with Vincent, he said this too. It's like when you're a true martial artist, it's not a hobby; it's a lifestyle.
Oh yeah.
And we train at 6 at UMA. There's nothing. I never make plans at 6 if I can. Like there's 6 o'clock is whenever. Oh, I train. That's what I'd be. That's what I'll be doing. And it's just like my Apple Maps predicts. 6 minutes to wherever. It's like 6 minutes to work. I check it. And it's to UMA, and I'm like, man, I've been doing this for 3 years. That's all I. That's every time I do that at 6 o'clock. And uh, I sacrifice time with family. Um, even time with Audrey. We live together, but we're always training. So it's different spending time with each other at home in our own space than at the gym. So we sacrifice that sometimes, but man, I wouldn't have it any other way. I love it. I love the sport. I love sacrificing time for Sanda.
Good, man. And yeah, I'm always like, and how do you feeling about soccer because you're 23, right?
Hmm.
And sometimes at your age, like many people, and I was in that place, and I also sacrificed a lot to be training hard and competing and to be the best and whatever. And I lose friends, and I stop talking with some family members because of the same thing. I always focus.
Right.
And I don't know what's your case. And yeah, when and in the podcast with Vincent, we talk about that too. And
Hmm.
yeah, and this, and I think uh I have a slogan from years ago, like which is not it's not only a sport, it's a lifestyle, it's a way of life.
Right.
And yeah, man, it's many people, unfortunately, many people don't know about this sport, but the one, the few we practice this beautiful sport and we know how hard it is. Oh man, like I don't care if we are not in the Olympics or whatever, but I can assure you that like we train harder than a lot of Olympians,
Yeah.
honestly.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, man, Sanda is such a skilled sport. You can't go in there and you know, you can go in there and tough it out and stuff. Obviously, and that's what you should do anyway. But if you go in there with like an MMA rhythm, like we went to an MMA Austin for my team, he
Yeah,
was in
yeah,
there
yeah, yeah.
last weekend, and there's a lot of guys in there that won off of just pure sit there. They want to sit there and bang, and whoever gets caught first gets they lose. But Sanda's a lot different, man. It's very skilled, and you fight top countries trying to have that MMA rhythm, MMA mindset. Those guys are just gonna play with you a little bit, because they're so skilled. You have to be skilled at this sport.
Yeah, yeah, me too. I think the same thing. Yeah, MMA has a different rhythm. Sanda has a different rhythm. Muay Thai has a different rhythm.
Yeah.
But I always say like not because I do this sport, but or because I practice this sport, but I think I don't know what you think about like the rhythm we have in this sport, like explosive speed. Uh, what
Mhm.
do you think about this like? What is your vision as a Sanda fighter? And then because I think you also compete in jiu-jitsu and MMA, right?
Not MMA yet, but I do jiu-jitsu tournaments whenever I can, for sure.
And what is the difference, man?
Like between jiu-jitsu and striking or sanda,
Yeah.
man. Uh, it definitely make strike after you fought for uh, a few times, and I fought sanda a few times. Doing jiu-jitsu is a lot easier, because uh, nobody's trying to punch and kick you in the face. It's obviously still hard. That you get a good skilled guy, it's going to be a hard fight, but uh, it definitely it makes it a lot less mentally stressful going in there and competing in jiu-jitsu versus sanda.
You think is a good what do you think about like to all MMA fighters like they never try Sanda? Do you think Sanda is a good sport for MMA or
Yeah, for sure, man. I know there's not a sanda gym everywhere, uh, but I think if you prioritize MMA, you should cross train at a sanda gym and get that different rhythm, because I think you know obviously if you have that, there's a lot of different rhythms in MMA, but if you have that hard nose, I'm gonna punch you, you punch me, whatever. I think you go train at a Santa gym, that changes your game a little bit more. You can still have that mindset, but then in and out, counters and all this, everything, catch and takedown, just to sharpen your game a little bit. I think Santa's, in my opinion, obviously, like you said, I'm going to be a little bit more biased towards my sport, but I think Santa's the best base for MMA if you want to go into MMA.
yeah, you have the takedown, you have wrestling, you have kicking, you have boxing, you have actually
Mhm.
it's very complete sport.
Yeah,
Same. I'm gonna be biased in this. Like I
yeah,
don't want to be like oh because you're a Sanda fight. No, no, no. It's because the true man. You have a lot of things that you can use in MMA, whatever. And I'm talking about MMA because well, it's right now is the most famous sport right now in contact. But man, let's talk about your You don't need to tell me about strategy or something, but like how many hours you're training right now? How you getting ready for Dallas?
right. Usually, so I'll start my day around 4 a.m. for work so I can get off early. I'll be at the gym by 4:35 at the latest. If I can go earlier, I'll go earlier, but it just depends on how my body is. And I'll go jump rope for for an hour during the kids class and maybe another little hit workout, and then we'll start 6 p.m. class drill, everything Coach Lee wants us to do, and then that'll probably be till about usually 9:30, 9:45, 10 o'clock, and uh, then I'll just go home and try to recover for the next day and just do that. And then Saturday we usually train at 11 to about 2:30. So right, I try to train. It gives me peace of mind, training. If I get a good chunk of what those guys, those top countries are training, they do it for a living. They're training six hours a day, uh, 4 to 9:45. That's about 5 hours, nearly six. So it gives me a little peace of mind. Like at least I'm with a full-time job. I'm at least training, as much as these guys are, or maybe a little less, but I'm trying to catch them up.
So you start working at like what, 5, 6 a.m.?
Yeah, I'm usually up by 4:05, and then try to get to the warehouse around 4:30, and then I start my day. I'm a route driver for a like CBD company.
Oh
So
yeah, 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 yeah. So and then like after that you go home, you eat, or you just go straight to the gym.
usually I try to get off by 1:45, go home, eat a little snack, sit down for a second,
Yeah,
catch my
right.
breath a little bit, and then I'll go to the gym.
And that's what I'm talking about. That's actually that also is a sacrifice because many guys of your at your age is like they still doing nothing. They are gamers or they are trying to be TikTokers, YouTubers. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, guys. I don't know, guys, if some of you guys are trying to be TikToker, YouTuber, but but no, man. There's more. There's more that you can do in your life,
yeah, for sure.
and honestly, man, and I've been trying to be honestly actually with myself. We always trying to innovate, and at your age doing this, like I wake up 4 a.m. and then I go and work, and then I go this, and then I go and train, and sometimes they kick my ass, and then I go back and think, man, that's not
Yeah,
easy, man, because at the end your body need to rest even if
mhm,
you're 23,
right.
and right now you're training 6 days a week, right? Or you're training 7 days.
6 days a week, and then we rest on Sundays.
Yeah, man. And how's like right now all the team is together, man. Like what is the difference? Because I think this gotta be the last week, right? Before like the last week of training.
Yeah, last week of hard stuff, and
Okay.
then last week's just cutting weight and getting ready to go and go to war.
Oh man, I'm so excited for you guys. I'm gonna be there, organizing and everything. But I have that adrenaline, every
Yeah.
time I see a Lei Tai, and every time like I see the team, any team, whatever, it's like, oh man,
Brings you back.
yeah, of course, man, like I want
Yeah.
to go back and this, but well, but and there's something else, man, like you want to share with us about this, about like not only your feelings but what are your thoughts about the USA team in this competition?
Man, just like I said earlier, uh, being a part of this, doing something like this, like you said, like um, there's a lot of guys my age that are TikTokers or whatever they want to do, or they're not doing anything, and um, being a part of this is awesome. Being on the team with, my girlfriend's 15 years into this. She's 14-time national champion. I think 15 after this last one. And then Vincent, he's a world class guy from been doing it since he was young. Bruce, obviously too. And then Livingston, is veteran in the sport. And I'm the new guy. I've been doing it 2.5, 3 years, and I get to learn. I get to train with these guys, and it's awesome. They're pushing me to be better. I'm pushing them, and it's a great this dynamic in there. Like today, this week was awesome. We're all constantly pushing each other. When somebody's down, somebody's picking them up. Then it's a great camaraderie.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Is there any country you want to fight?
Is there any what?
Any country?
Man, uh, so like I don't know, being so new into the sport, I'm trying to catch up. You know, like there's guys that everybody on the team has been doing it 10 plus years, so I want to catch up to those guys. You know, I want the experience. So I mean, right now at this point, I'm like, give me. I don't care who I draw. Everybody's gonna be good. You know, and I know win or lose, if I draw whoever first, China, Iran, anybody first, uh, I'm gonna be a better man, better fighter, better martial artist after. So, you know, I'm just excited to fight anybody. You know, I'm grateful to even be there. So
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. I think the same. And honestly, when I was in Lubbock this year training with you guys, I saw something, and I'm being honest. Like I saw something like this guy. Well, at the end, I'm a coach. You know, I'm also I have my team, whatever, and I have experience in this, and I always like this guy. He gotta be something like he'll do something in this, or he gotta be in competing in this year or next year, whatever. But he's gotta be in the team one day
right.
because the feeling, the discipline you have, you're a very focused guy. You're training really good,
Hmm.
and I was like, yeah, this guy. And I talked with coach, and I told, hey, this guy gonna be in the team soon, right? Like, and he said, like, hopefully, he always training hard, and I
Right.
can tell, man. And right now,
Appreciate it.
I'm very happy, like because I see you, and in this picture, like the feeling, about fighting, and many people around, like right now, thank God, many people is following this podcast, and
Hmm.
from Argentina, Mexico, Latin America,
Right.
from Europe, whatever. And I hope, when guys, if you see this guy in Dallas, I don't care if you are from India, whatever, but man, go with Jaden, and make a good friendship. And because at the end, uh, after competition, you make friends. There's a
Right.
friendship. Yeah, as you said, there's a family, and the experience, and it's
Hmm.
not only like that rivalry, like, oh man, he kicked my ass, or oh man, or you kicked my ass. Like, no, man.
Yeah.
At the end, it's like we're competing, we're learning from each other.
Hmm.
And sometimes there are people like, I don't care, man, I hate you because you won. Like, no, man, because
Yeah.
at the end we're in the same sport. and
Hmm.
and and, that's why I'm so happy for you, man, because you're young, and I know you gotta be doing this for years. And I hope so.
Right.
I think you gotta be the leader of the new generation after this. So I hope so, man. I wish you the best.
Thank
and
you.
and I
Thank
don't
you.
know, you want to share something else, man, like about your life in this moment, like how everything is changing from that day that they told you, man, you gotta represent US, to this day.
Yeah. Um, man, it was just like, I'm not gonna lie. At first, they told me or whatever, and
Yeah.
I'm like a deer in the headlights, man. Like, wait, what? I'm gonna do that, and it's like, you know, uh, I found a lot of peace in like, uh, it's like I made a post the other day. Like, we find peace in, we find we deposit pain for peace of mind.
Yeah.
So, like, that's something I've been trying to, since I found out that I've been trying to live by. Like, no matter how much I suffer, how much my body hurts and I have to go train anyway. This is just depositing into a bank, because I'm gonna get back. Whenever I have to step on the Lei Tai, I'm gonna know, like, I pushed myself, I suffered. Because everybody's suffering. The guy you're standing across from at the Lei Tai, he suffered too. So I found that's something I learned is, uh yeah, just suffering. And then also just the mindset, like we talked about earlier, is uh being prepared for the worst case scenario and letting it all hang out, man. Just that's uh and earning the respect from people no matter what. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I learned.
Yeah, good, man. And in your job, man, what they are like, oh man, he's gotta be representing US, or I know
Yeah,
that.
I'm blessed with my job because they're very supportive, and they gave me the time off, no problem, for that week. And uh they even built my route schedule around my training time. They gave me the one of the
Awesome.
easier routes, and I'm blessed with that.
Awesome. Yeah. That's good, man. Like that means, like that. that means a lot from you because that means like you're a good guy, and
Mhm.
they appreciate your job, they appreciate your discipline, and man, congratulations, man, because
Thank you.
any company like, okay, if you go, you go,
Yeah. Yeah.
and thank God, like they are supporting you, and I know, man, I know you're gonna do well, man. Just
Mhm.
no matter what happens in the late tide, just go and do what you really love to do every
Yeah.
time, and I can assure you that, man. Like you, as you said, after that fight or after I don't know how many fights you're gonna have. I hope
Yeah.
you go to the finals, and I know your life gonna change. Your mindset, your
Hmm.
vision, your goals, everything, man.
Yeah.
And I hope, man. And what is your well? Can you tell us about how do you visualize after the World Games? Because next we have next Pan American next year
Hmm.
in US, but how do you visualize?
Man, you know, I feel, after this world championship, it's gonna take me to a different level, different experience level. I'm gonna know what it's like to fight world class guys, like real, like professional dudes. Like I know that it's not professional, like in a sanctioned way, but these dudes get paid for it. They do it for a living. It's all they do. Um, so hopefully, I envision fighting again a couple months after, maybe one or two more times, even do a jiu-jitsu tournament just for experience, and then keep just keep at it, keep training hard, and then next nationals, uh, win obviously, and then then go to Pan American games, and just start checking stuff off my list.
Yeah, man. Are you thinking about to be MMA fighter in the future or?
Yeah, yeah. I do want to dip my foot in MMA. Right now I'm just focused on Sanda and seeing. I want to accomplish my Sanda goals, and stuff like that. But eventually, I do want to dip my foot in MMA and try that too.
Man, you wanna before we finish, do you wanna share something with people, with kids, something that you want to, I don't know, any advice? You're 23-year old, and I think you're a very mature guy right now. I'm knowing, I'm right now. I'm know you more, and the way you think is, like like a man, not a 23-year-old guy. Do you want to share something with people, like any advice about
Mhm.
life, sport? I don't know, sacrifice.
Yeah, yeah.
Your podcast, bro. Go ahead.
Um, yeah. I mean, something that I've learned, uh, and Sanda taught me, Coach Lee taught me especially is, um, and I said at the beginning, is just keep pushing. Stuff's hard. And this helped me in my regular life too. Is you know, it's the same thing of you know you're hurting, your knee hurts, your elbow hurts, your shoulder hurts, whatever. We always push through. It's the same thing as I wake up for work one day and I'm, oh man, I don't want to be at work, I don't want to be doing this, I don't want to be doing that, but what choice do you have? You got to push through, you got to pay your bills, you got to go. And that's something that um I learned, that made every other part of my life a little better, a little easier, because just pushing through a training camp is hard enough. After that, you can do anything. You push through a training camp, you fight, whether you win or lose. That whole training camp was hard. You're cutting weight, you're doing this, you're doing that. You know, uh, so on the days I don't want to be at work, it's a little easier because I've done hard stuff before. Um, I mean, yeah, I mean, just pushing through adversity in all parts of your life, not just sport and work, relationships, everything. And just being level headed through it all. Because if you get too high, you know, you might you you might mess something up. If you get too low, you might mess something up. You just always have to be ready for anything.
Man, thank you, man. And there's another thing before something that I really like, I was thinking about right now.
Mhm.
So, how are you feeling, man? Like you and your girlfriend going to represent US at the same time. That's fucking awesome. I'm sorry. That's awesome. Like that's
Yeah, man.
awesome, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
we always make the joke.
bro.
It's like that's a real power couple, like
Yeah.
being seeing each other, seeing me next to her in pictures and stuff, representing the USA. It's cool, man. It's awesome. It's I don't think a lot of couples get to experience that together, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
on top of that, you know, she's my biggest support system. You know, whenever I'm feeling low, I've had a bad day at training, you know, I always know I can go back to her, and she understands it. She's been doing it twice as long as me, 3 times as long. I don't even think it was 3 times. She's been doing it a lot longer than me.
Yeah.
So she knows the lows, she knows the highs, and she knows how to keep me at bay, you know. So I'm blessed. I'm blessed with that also.
Yeah, man. I was thinking like, oh man, like yeah, they gotta compete each other like in the same competition, and then World Games, and you're gonna represent US. Like, man, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, how's your day? Like, we're not gonna go dinner today, because we have to train tomorrow. Like, well,
Yeah.
how's that, man? I don't know if you want to share a little bit of that.
No, yeah, it's tough, man, because you know, uh like on a regular Saturday night, you know, we'd like to go to dinner and spend, you know, we both worked all week. We both work full-time jobs. We want to go to dinner on a Saturday night and spend time with each other, but you know, that's a sacrifice. You know, we can't do that, you know.
Yeah,
Uh, but being there, doing it together makes it easier on both of us. You know, we're both
yeah,
picking each other up. We're moving forward, and when one of us falls behind, we go back and we grab each other, keep each other moving. You know,
yeah.
so it's like we're blessed, man. We're blessed to do this together.
Yeah, man, that's awesome, and congratulations for both of you, because
Thank you.
it's very hard. It's very hard when the like when both of you are athletes, same sport, different sport, whatever. But right now it's the same sport, same competition,
Yeah,
same team, whatever. And I think that's nice, man, because I believe the motivation, like, oh man, hey, today I got my, they kicked my ass today, and like she's
yeah.
going to, hey man, you're doing good, or maybe vice versa. And I don't
Mhm.
know, man, I really feel happy for you guys. I know Audrey since a lot of time ago, and her family, and her dad, her mom, and her
Mhm.
brother, and I think they're really really cool guys, and
Yeah, for sure.
very very into this sport.
Mhm.
And I'm glad, man. I'm glad. She's a good girl. You're a good guy. I really wish you the best
I
in the
appreciate it.
personal life, and I really appreciate. And I'm sorry, and I really wish you the best in the next championship, the World Championship, because at the end it's gonna be a really beautiful experience.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be there with you guys, with the team, and please, all the support, from me to you, whatever you need as a team member, as a former athlete. I'm
Mhm.
very happy,
Right.
and I really appreciate you giving me this time. I know you're tired right now, and I know you want to sleep, and but
Of
man,
course.
thank you for your time, bro, because I know many people going to know you, and who's Jaden, and who's this guy, and I know they're gonna see you fighting, and I hope many people start following you. I don't know if you want to share, your Facebook or Instagram to people, here. So I'm going to put in the descriptions, but
Okay.
if you allow me, like,
Yeah, yeah, of course.
if you want to share your Instagram with us.
Yeah. My Instagram is Saucedo, SAUCEDO .32. So
Okay,
yeah,
man. Yeah,
yeah.
and you're in Lubbock, Texas.
Lubbock, Texas. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and you training in.
At United, I'm training in Sanda at United Martial Arts under Coach Lee.
Yeah,
So
man, and Corey and Bruce and
Corey,
everything.
yeah, Corey, everybody there.
Yeah, man, you have a great team, man. Like, honestly, one of the best teams, and I feel really grateful too with them, because they adopt me, as a part of the family, and I really like, Coach Lee is doing a really good job with you guys.
Hmm.
Corey, Bruce, Livingston, Audrey, Vincent. Man, I
Hmm.
wish you the best. I don't know, man, but my expectation for you guys, I know you well, and I know you're gonna do a really good job, and whatever it happens, we're proud of you, man. Like, because representing a country, man, it's a high level thing. I don't
Right.
Many people think like, oh, I'm professional, man. You can go and buy a license and you're
Yeah.
professional, man, but you
Yeah.
don't have idea to be like, competing in the international games,
Hmm.
fighting 4 days in the same weight class that you
Right.
can eat, you can do this, and that because you need to weigh in every day.
Yeah.
Many people don't realize this.
Hmm.
You
A lot of
know,
people just weigh in and then they get to go rehydrate and fight the next day. It's
yeah,
that's the
yeah.
tough part about stand up.
And let me tell you this: many people like they don't realize this, and they not capable to do this because okay, I'm that fighter that cut 10 kilos in that one fight, and then next day I rehydrate. No,
Hmm.
brother. Here,
Yeah.
like you're you cut weight, you need to maintain this weight,
Yeah.
and next day you're gonna fight, you gotta weigh in again. It's
Yeah.
pretty hard.
That's what Corey says. He always tells the stories how he made weight the first day, and then him and Livingston are weighing with food in their hand and seeing if they could eat that and still be good on weight. That's tough, man.
Yeah,
It's really tough.
yeah. I think more than physical is the mental game.
Hmm.
I remember like Indonesia, many fighters actually, some of the USA team in that time, we suffer because so we were in the plane like a 20 something hours.
Hmm.
Uh, I remember I was eating ice
Yeah.
and maybe just a banana in the whole trip, like
Yeah.
from Texas to Indonesia. So
Right.
ice, banana, and that's all.
Yeah.
When we get to the hotel, we were like a 2 kilograms over, and I was like below. I was in 58 kilograms.
Uh-huh.
When I was in Indonesia, it's like a 62, 61. So I gained like a 3, 4 kilos. I don't remember,
Hmm.
bro. Man, like trying like trying to get the weight again, and and the mental game about like, hey man, but I was in that game. I'm sorry, I was in that way. What
Right.
happened? Like
Hmm.
whatever happens. So go
Yeah.
to the sauna again,
Yeah.
offer for 2 hours or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And then the kidney pain in the night. And
Yep.
then next man, horrible, man.
It's the first fight, man. It's the first fight. Is making weight.
Yeah, it's a nightmare because again, it's not like oh, I'm gonna fight in San Antonio, Texas. I'm in Texas, and no, it's like
Hmm.
you're going to travel 20 something hours, and you need to, man, like to hold your, like that the like you can eat.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm telling, like, many people don't realize this with the Sanda fighters, because I think not many, I don't know how many combat sports doing this about like the weighing. I don't know if wrestling again. I really don't know,
All I know
but
is
I know,
wrestling. Really.
yeah, but I know few. But
Hmm.
Sanda is like, oh man, like it's
Yeah.
really pain. It's a mental gain. And
Yeah, for
are
sure.
you ready to this? Like, okay, if you go to the finals, because I know you're going there,
Mhm.
are you ready, man?
I'm ready, man. I'm ready. I feel like you make it to the finals. If it's 2 3 fights, then you get to the finals. Like, man, you've already suffered so much. Yeah, I feel like, personally, I feel like I would just have the mindset of like, man, let's just go. Who wants it more? At this point, they're hurting. They made weight every day. They
Yeah,
fought 2 or 3 times. You've done the same. Who wants it more? Let's see. Like,
yeah.
uh, yeah,
Then
just
Jaden, yeah, Jaden, again, thank you very much. I hope to see you in Dallas in two
yes, sir.
weeks, and I know, man, you're gonna do well. You're very a disciplined guy. You have that heart,
Yes,
the
sir.
lion heart there,
Hmm.
and thanks, man. Thanks for your time, and again, we're going to supporting you. My team. To like from Laredo,
Right.
Texas. We going to support the USA team, and
Sure.
believe me, every week, like every training, I always talk to my guys and like, hey guys, if one day you're going to represent US, and just remember this, there's a team going to represent US in US,
Hmm.
and believe me, it's an honor to do that.
Yeah,
you
for
know
sure.
and man, you are the guy in the house, and believe me, uh people from other countries, they know when they go to that country competing with that, they
Hmm.
know they're gonna expect a hard time. It's like,
Right.
man, this guy he gonna try to knock me out in the first minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know you're gonna do that, man. I know that
Yes,
because
sir. Thank
you
you.
have it. You have the power, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, thank you, Jaden. Go sleep. Go have a good rest.
Yes, sir.
And thank you, man, for your time. And thank you again for everything, to Coach Lee, to all the team, because you are what you are because of them
Yes, sir.
in this sport. And I know, man, you're going to be the new generation, and you're gonna do well, bro.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thanks for having me on also.
No, man, thank you. So this was Jaden Saucedo from Lubbock, Texas, USA team, 60 kilograms. And guys, please go and watch this guy in every fight because he's a really good, skillful guy. And and please share this guy, share this video, share this podcast in YouTube, in Spotify, whatever. And please help us to share this beautiful sport and these athletes because they are more than sacrificing. They are doing everything to be in this team, to be representing US. And if you are watching this video or if you're listening to this podcast in Spotify, let me tell you this, guys. Um, being in 60 kilograms, 65, 56, 60, and 65 kilograms is a very, very hard bracket division, because we're talking about brackets of 32, 40 something guys fighting for the medal, and 5 days fighting, 4 days fighting. This is insane, and that's why I always think like Sanda fighters were tough, or they're tough. And go, man, go and try YouTube and find the who's what Sanda, or Sanda fighters, or China Sanda, whatever you want to. So you're going to notice, and you're going to realize that being a Sanda fighter is not easy.
Mhm.
If you are close to Lubbock, Texas, and you want to go and train with this guy, with Jaden and the team UMA, with Coach Lee, try go, man. Try to go because honestly, they're one of the best schools in Texas, in US actually. And and I know, man, that if you want to learn more, go with them and contact them. Now you have the Instagram here. Uh, please follow him and share everything. Talk to him. He's a good guy. And so this is the episode 21. I hope you like it, and I hope in the next episode, I hope we can have Audrey here, or Livingston, because they're part of the team. And Audrey, she's one of the best of the best of the best in this sport in US. So
So,
Jaden, thank you. I hope you can talk to her if she can be in the next episode.
yeah, I'll talk to her.
Okay, man. So thank you, bro. Don't go. Just let me finish. And thank you, guys. Thank you. And I hope you like this episode. Share this episode to everyone, so people gonna know more about these guys. And see you in Dallas. We're gonna start. I think the 16th, right?
Yes,
November
sir.
the 16th.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So see you in Dallas and Fort Worth, Texas, and enjoy this World Championship in US, because it's once in more than 10 years, sometimes 15 years. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Thank you, guys. Don't go, Jaden.
All right.